Hello to the dozens and dozens of Dolan and Brolley point spread fans out there. Tom, everybody watches this one on demand from what I understand, or listens to it on demand, but it's good to be with you, my friend, here on a Friday night. This is I think, one of the thinnest weeks. I mean, everybody's calling it what, Buy-mageddon, or the one I was fond of was Buy 2K. With all the bye weeks, 6 teams on bye, and Tom, they are good fantasy teams. Meanwhile, when we're looking from a betting perspective here in week 7, a lot of long spreads, the likes of which you might see one every few weeks in the NFL, but we've got like 3 or 4 games this week that have massive spreads. You usually don't see that in one week at any given time.
Yeah, this quite frankly is like the worst weekend of football that I can remember in a very long time. Like, even the college football slate is atrocious, and they don't even have any games that start after 7:30 tomorrow. And then we have 13 games this weekend, 6 teams on bye, and we have like 4 double-digit spread games. We had that shit game last night with Case Keenum on the field and Teddy shitting it up. So, this is a good weekend. If you got to go to the pumpkin patch or whatever, do the wifey things, do the family things. Maybe that's a good chance to do that, because this weekend freaking sucks, quite frankly.
This is why I'm excited, though, T-Bro. I'm going to see the drive-by truckers tomorrow
There
night.
You go.
So
you're not missing any football games tomorrow night either.
Not.
Unless you're a big Notre Dame USC fan. I mean, that's about like the only marquee game yesterday.
Yeah,
tomorrow.
so I'm the Penn State's playing Burt. Clemson's got Pitt, and it's an underdog.
That's like the big game of the week.
Yeah.
Pitt and Clemson, go figure. I mean, Heinz Field will probably be about 50% filled for that one.
Yes, yeah, they'll get the 50% Clemson game.
I got to throw a couple jabs in there at Pitt. So
all right, let's do it. Let's get to the spreads here, Tom. It's as you said, kind of a shit slate. I mean, let's be quite frank with it. But the thing about betting is, even if it's a shit game, betting can make it interesting. So let's start. Actually, what I would consider the marquee game of the NFL weekend: Cincinnati at Baltimore. Cincinnati catching 6.5 on the highway. 46 the total. Cincinnati at Baltimore. Tom, Cincinnati is 0-5 against Lamar Jackson straight up. Cincinnati has lost by at least 24 points in this series, 3 straight games.
Yeah, it was ugly. There was only one game with Burrow last year, and I think it was a 38-3 or 31-3. I don't even think they scored an offensive touchdown in that game. But they're getting a little bit of respect this week. The spread opened up at like 7 most places. It's trickled down here 6.5. Looks like there's some money, towards the Bengals here too. Could be a 6 by Sunday. So if you're looking to bet the Bengals, I don't think it gets back up to 7. So you probably get that 6.5, get that hook, just in case we, get a situation like last weekend when Dallas scores that overtime touchdown. Something bizarre like that happens. So, but yeah, this is the marquee game. I mean, look through the rest of the schedule. Who would have thought? Bengals have been a bit of a surprise team here. 4 wins, 4-2. Their 2 losses have come by field goals. So, but the schedule they faced early on here, this is definitely the stiffest test they've faced. And the Ravens have answered every, they knocked off the Chiefs, knocked off the Chargers. They've answered every bell here so far this season.
What props are you looking at in this game? And by the way, we complained last week because there was basically no props up because of some really questionable injury situations, especially at quarterback position. A much fuller week here when it comes to props.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what I bet on this game. Let's see here. Oh, I have Bateman. That's right. I pulled up my best bets article here. Rashad Bateman's number was sitting at 32.5 on FanDuel. Giving that one out. He actually tied with Mark Andrews for the most targets on the team last week with 6. I'm expecting a more competitive game this week from the Bengals. It was a pretty light game in terms of passing volume for the Ravens last week. They've been playing a lot of shootouts actually, but I'm expecting this game to be a little bit more competitive. So more passing. No Sammy Watkins. He's already been rolled out here Friday. So 32.5 is the number. I think that should be more in the mid 30s to maybe high 30s. So, I could see that number in a week or two. He's getting priced, in the low 40s here as he continues to ascend here. So we're getting the number at its lowest right now here at 32.5.
Tom, I feel like I'm putting the Joker makeup on. You know the memes where like you're becoming the Joker because you're doing something stupid. You know those memes?
Oh yeah.
Devontae Freeman, 37.5 rushing yards. No Latavius Murray.
I did not. If those weren't actually up, whenever
I'm actually looking for one at my shit book, and they don't have one up yet. But I kind of like that one.
My only concern would be that they've just been splitting up the carries, no matter who has been in the rotation. Like I can kind of see Tyson Williams getting moved into the backfield here this week, and they're still going to like split it up like 10, 8, 7 carries or whatever. So I think he should be the lead guy here. If we actually gotten any kind of confirmation, any word out of Baltimore, like that they're going to give Freeman the
nothing like that, but I do know Latavius Murray's out.
Yeah, we do know that. We saw that this afternoon. So yeah, I mean, that's one I'll give a little bit harder look here, but definitely lean the over on Freeman. I thought he's looked relatively good here so far, but the Bengals have been pretty good against the run. The whole defense has been improved, but yeah, definitely look at the over there. He's definitely looked the best out of the group.
This is a game that actually has come down from 2 scores on the spread, Tom. So now we only have 3 multi-score spreads. Washington and Green Bay, but it's close. It's at 8. And this was as high as 9.5 at one point.
Yeah, it was even opened up. If anybody looks for my bets, I put them up usually about 10 a.m. Ben's up nice and early on Monday to put that article up. I know people, message me on Discord and stuff asking when I'm putting them up. So 10 a.m. Monday, I kind of look at the first lines that are out there, and it was pretty solid around 10s across the board here.
Oh, so
this is trickled down here as the week has gone on. I actually don't know why. I don't know what we've seen out of Washington that would give you any confidence that this team. I'm on the Packers side, if you can't tell.
And did you wait on that?
I didn't actually bet on this though. I mean, in terms of the ATS polls, picks, it's up over. If we do see some 7s, I might add this to the article on Sunday morning. I mean, there's just nothing I've seen from this Washington offense, and
everybody's hurt.
And everybody's hurt, yeah. And we got Heineke. He's no longer a thing. Had a nice couple of first games there, but I just don't like anything I've seen from Washington this season. So this Packers line, we'll see if it's kind of settled in there at 8 in most books. I'm seeing a 7.5 at FanDuel, but if it does kiss some 7s, I'm probably going to add that to the best bets this week.
Let's go to the props here, Tom. Anything you saw that was interesting? I don't know if I can get to the window on AJ Dillon's rushing yards, but I kind of like it because small sample size alert, but he has kind of functioned as the closer there for the Packers.
Yeah, and it seems like LaFleur even said earlier this week that they want to get him involved. It's been a concerted effort to get him involved. But I'm actually looking at